Hey, it's Allie, and I'm just here to quickly check in about the research project, Curating Your Own Television Fest, that'll be due at the end of the semester. This is actually an assignment that's broken up into 3 parts. So the proposal will be due week 3, and that's just a quick 1 to 2 page essay where you discuss your hopes for this project, what your topic might be, what you're thinking about. And then in week 5, we will have the sources portion of this project due, and this is basically making the work cited for the paper itself. I'm asking you to find 3 sources, 2 must be academic, and in the paper itself you must use 2 sources, 1 must be academic. And then week 7 is when the final paper that goes with the curatorial project of programming 5 hours is due. And although this is due week 7, I will accept this assignment, no penalty for lateness, through the end of the semester, and that is week 8. This is an 8-week accelerated summer session. So basically what you're going to do for this assignment, we'll start with the proposal. And in the proposal, you are going to tell me the theme that you are hoping to investigate. And so this could be a variety of different ways you could approach this assignment. You could look at your favorite television shows, and if they fit a theme, like say you love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you really like another hour-long drama that fits into the teen category, perhaps that would be where you win. However, what if you liked X-Files and you also like Buffy? You could go with science fiction on television, and then incorporate some other shows from earlier times, such as The Twilight Zone, etc. So there's a bunch of different ways to go about it, but the number one thing is pick something you enjoy. You don't want to get stuck investigating something that you're not really into for the entire summer session. So another way to do this would be to look at a historical event. And so when I did the intro to this class, that video, I mentioned how people of my generation, Gen Xers, were really familiar with the Challenger shuttle explosion. One show that I often screen along with the actual footage of the Challenger shuttle explosion is a show from the 1980s called Punky Brewster. And so there's ways to go outside of the historical event itself and find fictional programming that relates to fill up this 5 hours. Another event that I can think of right away we'll study in this class is the events of September 11th, 2001. And of course, there's non-fictional programming. We can look at news, all of that. But there's also going to be some fictional programming that you'll be able to find that also could be utilized in this kind of 5 hour of programming. And so the first place you'll get started is with that proposal, and then when you do the sources, it's not just busy work, you'll actually have the work cited in MLA style is what we use in this course. That'll be crafted and ready for the paper itself when you roll in to week 7. And all of this information is in this written document, and I really like having kind of rules or what's expected of me written out. So it's almost as if I'm there with you as you're asking questions. Now you're still free to write me an email, to ask me a question on the messages on Canvas. I will respond to you as quick as I can. But if you're working late at night and you don't think I'll have an answer right away, I'm trying to kind of think like that and have a lot of these answers, a lot of what is expected of you in the document. So it's basically going to be a 5 to 6 page paper in essay format. So I want you to it's not bullet points, it's not an outline. You're going to sit down and write this up. And what you're going to do is do an intro to the festival. That'll be about 1.5 to 2 pages. And then you're going to have programming notes. And in this part is where programming notes, and the next part, the roundtable description, is where your sources are going to be most likely to be utilized. As long as you use those 2 sources, 1 academic, anywhere in your paper it'll be acceptable. But as you're writing, this might be a place where a quote could be used, something that you paraphrase from one of the texts. And so in addition to the intro, which is about 1.5 to 2 pages, and the programming notes, which is about 1.5 to 2 pages, you're also going to have a description of a round table discussion that you would foresee happening right after the 5 hours of programming. And this is all fictional. You don't have to actually book these people or any of the shows or episodes. This is a fantasy exercise. And you're going to pick 3 TV makers. And TV makers is a really broad term. I want it that way. I kept it that way so that you could utilize a variety of different people involved in the industry. You could pick writers, producers, actors, network executives, directors, cinematographers. It'll be what interests you. And so along with the 3 TV makers, you're also going to pick 2 television journalists. And you're going to have questions, 3 questions for each of these groups to consider, and that'll be part of your written paper as well. And you can kind of fantasize what will be said. You could put 2 people with opposing points of view next to each other. You could do a whole lot of things with this, and I'm hoping that people have fun with this. And that is basically going to take you to your 5 to 6 pages. And in addition to that, I have the rubric here as well on this document, on the final project assignment sheet, and that can be found on Canvas. It's at both the top of our course page as well as in week 3, week 5, and week 7 where you hand things in. That part will be available there as well. So in addition to the required components, I will also be grading you on research and works cited as well as formatting. And so hopefully this will all be clear. And if your paper's not at least 5 pages, that's the minimum, plus the works cited, that's a separate additional page, that will drop your grade. And again, it's really important in our accelerated summer session here. This is due week 7, but I will accept this assignment through the end of the semester, through week 8, with no penalty for lateness. So I just want everyone to be aware of this. And again, this is a complete fantasy project. You do not have to acquire rights to these. You don't have to schedule screenings. You don't have to actually even show me the videos. You just have to tell me what episodes you would like to be screening. And everything does have to have been created for television. This isn't something where we're going to bring in a whole bunch of Hollywood films. If there's a made-for-TV movie, that can be acceptable. And all of those guidelines are in the assignment sheet. One other thing is only 1 hour of programming can be things we actually screened in class. So an example will be The Twilight Zone. If you pick the exact episode that we are going to watch in our class when we study the 1950s, that will be 1/2 hour of that hour-long component where you can only choose 1 hour of things that I've chosen to screen. However, if you just pick The Twilight Zone and a whole different episode, that won't even count against you. So those are just some of the clarifications about this assignment. And I know some students prefer to have this in a video form instead of in the written form. If at any time you are running into problems, if you have questions or comments, I'm available. The best way to get a hold of me for the entire semester is going to be either an email at our Columbia email or a message on Canvas, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. I am really excited by what you are all going to bring to the table here for this assignment, and I am hoping that you all have fun with this. If you do need assistance, I am more than willing to help, so please reach out if that's the case. Good luck with this assignment, and I hope you all have fun.